Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a full set for y'all. Initially we wanted to do a redesign, so basically like an infill. So we went back to the clear layer, and then my client was like, I want long nails. So then we decided to take them off and start all over again. So for the tips, I'm using my amazing Glitter Planet Easy Tips, and these are just the long stiletto tips. These are perfect for people that like extreme length. People that like long nails, I highly recommend these tips because they are very long, and they're stiletto, as I said before. That means you can just trim the ends of it or to whatever desired length the client wants, and then after that you will have the perfect narrow shape. So it's good for coffin, rounded, or stiletto. And to do this, I'm applying these tips using my Cadia's glue. I think I'm catching a cold, you guys, so normally I cannot speak, so you can only imagine how I feel right now. Yeah, that's why my voice seems a little bit off. But yeah, I just trimmed the ends of those tips with my straight edge nail clippers, and now I'm just measuring to see if they're all the same length. I decided to not file those tips because they just were the perfect shape. So that's why I highly recommend those tips, because either you require minimal filing or no filing whatsoever, depending on what shape you want. So I applied my CJP acid primer on all of the nails, and now I'm going in with my clear base. So I'm using my Naio Nails Acrylic, clear acrylic. I'm using my the one monomer from CJP and my big boy brush from CJP, and I'm just adding a small wet bead of that clear acrylic on the natural nail, blending it down to the tip. Add another bead towards the tip, just so we have a nice layer, so when we come back to file to that clear base, that tip won't break. So you want to put a little bit of strength on the tip as well as the natural nail. So now I'm using my CJP Lemon Fizz, which is a really nice neon color. A lot of people like to call it green. I personally call it yellow neon yellow. I don't know. Neon green, neon yellow, it's neon. So I'm just applying that at the tip, making sure I have a nice coverage at the tip, and then blending that color towards the middle of the nail so we get a nice ombre. So when I add this color, I am basically just building that color up to get a good coverage. I am not using that color to build the apex or build any strength to the nail, just because this is a design powder or a powder design, so you do not use that for strength. So I'll let you guys watch. So for this nail, I am using Lemon Fizz closer to the cuticle area, blending it towards the middle of the nail, just because I wanted to create an ombre with the Lemon Fizz and the clear tip. So I wanted it to go from neon yellow to clear tip, if that makes sense. Just because the client walked in and she was like, I want something different, I want something that shouts Cardi B. So I was like, okay, I'll try my best, and this is what I came up with. So now you will see me go over with Lemon Fizz on I think most of the nails, just because I wanted to build that color up, because I noticed that with Lemon Fizz it was working a little bit patchy for me. So I wanted to just go ahead and apply another layer on top to make sure that there was an even coverage on all of the nails. So for the cover color, I'm using my Glitterbells Plush cover. So I am adding that at the back. So I am blending Plush cover into that Lemon Fizz. And I'm just adding as much as I need. So when you do an ombre, just make sure you keep on brushing those two colors into each other to make them blend. So yeah, I have done this in multiple videos, so I will let you guys watch. So now I'm going to encapsulate all of the nails with my Naio Nails Clear Acrylic, and I am just building my apex and some thickness at the tip, because with this length you want to make sure you have a good thickness overall, just because those nails are quite long and they're easier to snap. So I'll let you guys watch as I am capping the nails, and I will come back to you once I get to the middle finger. So I am using my gold foils from my local craft store, and I am just I grabbed like a big piece, and I am just basically cutting them into smaller pieces, just like that. And then after that, I will apply a thin layer of clear acrylic on the tip of that clear nail, and then just use that as an adhesive, and then place those using my brush wherever I want them. For the pointer finger, I applied a thin base of clear acrylic as well, just to use that as an adhesive. And I'm using this, I think it's called Queen Ice or Ice Queen, which is just a very beautiful silver glitter from CJP. And I'm just creating like this swoosh. Just thought it would look really nice, and I'm glad I did it because it added that extra definition. It was a nice contrast between the gold and silver. A quick tip is when you add glitter on any nail, wait for it to dry a little bit just so that glitter sits in place, because if you would come on and encapsulate it while the glitter is not dried, or the acrylic underneath the glitter is not dry, the glitter will move everywhere and is going to be a nightmare for you. So once you add that glitter, wait for it to dry a little bit and then come back to it to encapsulate it. Now I'm coming in with my tornado file from CJP, and I'm just reshaping all of the nails. So again, I'm doing a 45-degree angle on the sides of the nail and a 90-degree angle at the free edge, which is the tip of the nail. And this step is very important just to redefine those nails, get that shape looking nice and crisp, because when you add the acrylic, it does take away from your shape. I've noticed with a lot of beginners, their application looks really good. A lot of times even, you know, the apex is not a problem. But one thing that I did notice with beginners is shaping, and just because a lot of people think, okay, once I shape them, because I only shaped them the first time, I won't have to go and do it again once the application is done. But I highly recommend that you do this extra step, because it actually makes your end product look so much better. So now I'm going in with my smooth top fine drill bit from Glitter Planet, and this is just a ceramic safety bit, and I am just going around the cuticle area, down the barrel of the nail, making sure that there's no lumps or bumps on that nail. And after that, I will come back with a carbide fine drill bit just to seal that acrylic area, that cuticle area, which basically means getting that cuticle bead or cuticle acrylic as thin as possible to let it blend into the natural nail. So I use that bit just to focus on that cuticle area. So basically sealing that cuticle area, making sure that the acrylic near the cuticle is very thin, that blends completely onto the natural nail, which basically minimizes lifting, and the nails will look a lot more natural. When you do this, however, you want to make sure you use it on a very low speed. So I use a number 3 or 4 on my Cyan K drill. And I would always recommend starting off with a low speed. Even if you carry on using it at a low speed, it's very recommended that you do so, because they are quite aggressive bits. No matter if it's extra fine or fine, they are not hooded from the top, so you're more likely to cut your client. And even though I've been doing nails for for a very long time now, I just feel like I still get the occasional accidents, because they do happen. So I would say go at a very low speed, practice as much as you can, and in no time you will be pro and you won't get any lifting, because I feel like this step is essential in preventing lifting. Anyway, after that, I will buff all of the nails using my CJP buffer. I will wipe with an alcohol wipe, and then I will come back. So for the design, I'm using lemon juice from D&D, and it's a gel polish. I'm also using my long liner brush that I got from eBay. And when you try and find brushes like that, make sure they're synthetic and not too flimsy, because that helps you control that brush and product a lot better. So I mentioned in my previous video, if you want a straight line, just apply pressure where you want that line to start. and using the same pressure that you've applied, drag that brush to the bottom, making that brush do the work for you and making that line nice and straight. After this, I cure for 60 seconds, and I apologize that I did not have the footage of me applying the gems just because my camera died and I had to borrow a different camera. That's why the footage is different. But anyway, things like that do happen. I do apologize. But I applied my Premier Gel top coat, cured for 60 seconds, and then applied cuticle oil, and yeah, that was it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and yeah, I would love it if you would interact with me. Let me know what you'd like to watch, what you'd like to see from me, any constructive criticism. I would love to interact with you. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.